Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to share with you my everyday makeup drawer for September. So in my everyday makeup drawer videos, what I like to do is go through my makeup collection, pick out products that I haven't used in a while, or some newer products that I want to test out for the month and set them aside in a separate drawer so I can use them more consistently throughout the month. And that way I'm rotating more makeup in my collection, not just like using the same products every day. So I'm going to be picking out the products with you guys on camera and also go through the products that I picked out in August and let you guys know my favorites and misses. So if you guys are interested in seeing my everyday makeup drawer for September, then just keep on watching. Alright, so going through everything in my everyday makeup drawer for August, there's a lot of things I used a ton, and then there's a couple things I barely used at all. So some of my favorites this month were definitely this eyeshadow from City Colors. They have such an amazing formula. Let me swatch this for you guys because it's just like so intensely pigmented. It's insane. This is the shade Cheers to Life. Their shadows are awesome, or at least this one that I have, and I definitely want to get more from them, so I highly recommend that. I also love this Oprah highlighter in the shade Beverly Hills. I wore this a lot. I love how you can make it very customizable because it's all different colors, and it's super pigmented, so I definitely recommend like all of their highlighters. Are amazing. I wore the Tarte foundation, and the Bare Minerals primer is becoming one of my favorites. It's awesome for dry skin, but it's still kind of fills in your pores a little bit. I love the Tarte foundation. I wear my Anastasia one more because it's a slightly better match for me. That one's just a bit darker, especially for summer, but I'll wear this a lot more in the fall too. I basically used up my Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. You guys can see like there's really none left there, so that's good because I love finishing products. Like, I just hate having things that are almost empty in my collection. And then I've really been liking the new Kevyn Aucoin concealer, especially if you have oily skin. I think you would like these concealer. They're not too dry on my dry skin. It's like just the right amount. It's actually a very similar formula to the Urban Decay one. I think it's just slightly thicker than the Urban Decay one, or just a little bit more coverage. So if you like this one, I think you guys would like this one too. I am liking the Insta Fix and Matte Powder by Rimmel. I like this better than the Stay Matte. That one is so drying on me. This one is mattifying but not like super drying. The Pixie powder is fine, just the applicator sucks. You have to like press your face onto this puff, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but the actual product inside is good. So I don't know if I need to like change the packaging or just kind of deal with it as I use it. I actually really like this primer by First Aid Beauty. It's more for like a dewy finish. It's more hydrating. It's definitely not for oily skin. It's really hydrating, especially if you have dry skin. So I like this a lot. I'll probably end up getting a full size of that. I use this Buxom bronzer in Tahiti a lot. I really love it. It's really warm. It's a really great bronzer. I did not like this Glow All Out by Soap and Glory. It's so weird. It's kind of like a highlighter that looks like a blush, but it's so light. Like, it's just like a color that doesn't make sense on my skin tone at all. And it's also like powdery, so I don't like this. I wouldn't have any use for it. I do like the Smashbox shaping stick. This one's just a little dark. I did get some shades that were sent to me that were just slightly too dark for me, so I can use this if I want like a serious contour. So I didn't use it too much this month, but when I do use it and I want like a more like full glam look, it is a really great contour because it does blend out nicely. I didn't end up using this blue eyeliner for the month, so I think I'm gonna leave it in here. I did like the Soap and Glory mascara, the Thick and Fast mascara. It's a really good separating mascara. It's not my favorite compared to like the Benefit Roller Lash. I think that one does a better job, but it's still a pretty good mascara. And then I had some other things from Buxom. I went to like a little event with them and I added them to my drawer like after the fact. And I actually really like all of these. This is the Big T's mascara. So the Big T's is brand new by Buxom and I actually really like it. I'll show you guys on Snapchat one of these days when I'm wearing it with no falsies or anything, because it really does give you a lot of volume. And it's not like clumping, so I really like this mascara. I really like the wand on it. And then I'm loving their their lip liners. I wore this one, yes, this one in Stealth and a recent Get Ready With Me using the Urban Decay Naked Heat that's back there. And I've always loved their lip glosses. And then I actually don't think I used the rest of these lip products for the month. The ones from Pop, I am just going to keep them in here. And this matte lipstick from e.l.f. I'm going to keep in here too because I forgot to use it. I haven't gotten a chance to do like a vampy lip look yet. And then we have some of the palettes I was using this month. I love the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. It's so good. It's like, the formula is amazing. Like I said in my tutorial, the only reason I don't think people would like it is just because all the shades are really, really similar. So, but if you guys love tones like these, I really like the quality of this formula. And then I didn't use this glow kit too much this month. I ended up using the Ofra highlighter a lot more. I think because it's like so pink and frosty, it didn't go with a lot of looks that I was doing throughout the month. I mean, I could have used these a bit more, but every time I think of this glow kit, I just think of like this purpley and this orange shade and like the icy shade. So I think I'm gonna actually put it away for now and bring it back out, and maybe like later this fall where I'm doing more like wintry makeup looks where I might want something that's more cool tone or just something that's different than what I use day to day. I have used the In the Nude palette a lot this month because it has a lot of transition shades in here that I really like. This one is like pretty worn in. I especially wear these 4 shades a lot on my eyes and Grandson on my eyes all the time. Like those are some of my go-tos because they're really warm and I love the formula of these shadows. I wore Rocketshore and Dallas a ton throughout the month. If Benefit comes out with a holiday palette this year that's like similar to this palette, that maybe is a little different than the one from last year, the one that's available now that they released for summer, I think I'll probably end up getting it. I didn't actually use the Lorac Pro palette too at all. I want to still use it because it's more cool tone and there's like some grungier looks that I want to create for fall, and I feel like this month would probably be a little bit more appropriate to do some more fall makeup looks because all of these are just like speaking to me. I haven't played with grays in forever, so I want to keep this in here for the month. Alright, so these are just the products that I didn't get to use in August that I'll keep in this drawer, but I'm going to go ahead and move into my foundations and the rest of my makeup to pick out for September. Alright, so starting off with my foundations and primers and concealers. I use all my foundations is the thing. Like I literally use all of them. I use my MAC one, I use my Makeup Forever, my stick foundations all the time. One I haven't used in a while is this one from Lancome, and it's because it's a little pale for me during the summer, but I feel like now that I'm probably not going to be as tan that we're heading into fall, I'm going to bring this one back out because I don't think I've worn it since maybe late spring, early summer, and I actually really like it, so I'm going to bring this one out for the month. I also got this moisturizer recently from Soap & Glory, and I've actually just worn it alone on like no makeup days or just no makeup at all days, but I've been wanting to see how this works with different foundations as a primer because kind of gives me like a primer vibes with the packaging. So I'm gonna test this out, or I'm gonna keep testing it out and see how it works with different foundations. And I want to pick out like one more primer or foundation. I'm also gonna pull out this e.l.f. hydrating primer. I don't think I've used it in like 3 months. All my other primers, I feel like I rotate through them so much. Like I really love a lot of my different primers. Like I'm feeling them on different days for different reasons. And then surprisingly, I'm actually gonna pull out my Becca corrector. I know I use this like every single day, but ever since I got the Benefit corrector I mentioned in my favorites, I haven't used this in a couple weeks, and it's like almost done, and it's like at that part where I'm annoyed having it just sitting there and being like just a few uses away from finished. So I'll probably finish this week, and that way I can just get rid of one more thing in my collection, and I'll probably just stick to my Benefit one for at least another month before I purchase another Becca corrector. I feel like some of my concealers can be used up. I want to use up my Catrice concealer. I feel like there's a decent amount still in there, but I can get close. I'm also pulling out my e.l.f. concealer. I don't think there's too much left in here, and it is a pretty light shade. I think this is the lightest shade. So I can't use it under my eyes, but I could use it to highlight my nose, and I could also use it to prime my eyes. So I'm gonna pull this one out. I also just found this number 7 Radiant Glow concealer. I probably only used this once and completely forgot about it. I just found it like in the bottom of there somewhere, so I'm gonna pull that out. I use my Kevyn Aucoin, Maybelline, Too Faced, Bare Minerals all the time, so I'm gonna keep those in there. Alright, so I think that's gonna be everything for this drawer, because surprisingly I rotate through my primers, especially. I have like almost like 80% of this is primers, and I'm really good about rotating my primers compared to like my foundations and stuff. So I'm gonna leave everything else in here and then move into blushes, bronzers. This drawer is getting really overwhelming too. I'm hoping that by like October I can upgrade like my storage and stuff, so that's why it's always crazy. I'm like waiting it out until I can get exactly what I want, which I will make a whole video about. But for now, this is kind of the setup we're working with, and I shared some things in my e.l.f. haul, and a couple of them I haven't been able to try out yet. Which one was it? Yeah, I wanted to try out this one in Turks and Caicos. It's like a darker highlighter and a contour shade, and they're really shimmery, so I'm not sure how I'm gonna like them because they are pretty shimmery, like if it's gonna work on my skin or it's just gonna look like glitter. So I'm gonna test that out. And then also one of the highlighters I haven't used, this one is the one that was in my favorite. All right, so this is the shimmer highlighter from e.l.f. that I mentioned in my e.l.f. haul. And this is the shade Bronzed Glow. It's really deep for a highlighter on me, but I'm gonna see if I could use it for an eyeshadow and how it looks, especially for like really minimal makeup days. This is like a good shade to wear all over the lid and carry up into my crease. I feel like it would look really pretty. And then I have this new contour kit from Soap & Glory. I mentioned it in my PR haul. It has a creamy bronzer or contour shade, and then it has a blush and highlighter at the bottom. I don't think I'm really gonna like these shades too much. They're pretty fair, but the contour shade, I feel like that's gonna be a decent match for me. So I'm gonna try this out over the next couple weeks. Oh, let me pull out my Artist Couture highlighter because I haven't used this since the beginning of the summer. It's in the shade Conceited. It's their Diamond Glow powder. It's so pretty. It's a loose powder, so it gets messy. It just like went everywhere when I opened it. But it's such a I'm just like so into these bronzy highlighters like all the time. I shared this one in my favorites, Meet 'em It from Dose of Colors. Like I'm living for this right now. So anything similar to that I want to wear. I've been wanting to use this blush, the Cocoa Shock blush by Kiko Cosmetics, a lot more recently. I think I wore it maybe once or twice this past month, so I want to kind of commit to it for the month. This has two blushes that are just perfect. They're like my favorite mauve-y kind of cool shade. So I think this is going to be like a good travel blush because I am doing some traveling this month. And they're just really pretty shades, and they smell like vanilla bean. They're amazing, and the formula is amazing. I also want to get back into this bronzer by the number 7. I was using it a lot when they sent it maybe in like May, but then I put it away for the summer. So this is the shade Golden Sand. This was the shade that I liked a lot. It looks like Charlotte Tilbury packaging, which is why like I was really drawn to it. So I need to start using this more because I've just been using my Marc Jacobs, my butter bronzer, and my e.l.f. bronzer like pretty much every day for like 3 months. So I think that's the only bronzer I'm gonna pick out, and just looking in here makes me realize a couple things that I'm gonna end up decluttering. I'm not gonna do a whole declutter video because it's just gonna be like 4 things that I can let you guys know right now. I am gonna be getting rid of these highlighters from ColourPop because they've been sitting in my drawer for almost 3 years. I wore them a lot. Like I loved them when I first got them, when they were really hyped up, but anytime that I wear them now, it's just because I feel bad that they're just sitting there, and they're basically like kind of dried out at this point. So I'm gonna get rid of those. And then there's a couple like little baby samples, like this one from Ciate. It's a bronzer that I used a bit, and it's just like a weird reddish kind of tone. I'll be decluttering that as well, but these are just expired probably, or like I've had them for years, and the formula is just not the same. So I'm gonna end up decluttering these probably like today. And then I actually want to use these liquid highlighter drops from Benefit. This is the High Beam, especially because I want to do a couple like cool tone looks with the Lorac palette. I feel like this would be really pretty as a highlighter, or like a base for a highlighter, because it's more of like that icy color. All right, so now we're into my eyeliner, brow, and just random eye products drawer. And honestly, I'm gonna be bringing out the Stila Glitter and Glows because I have not used these since the beginning of the summer. I think since like the 4th of July. And they're products that I absolutely love, but for some reason I just haven't been using them that much because I've just been doing pretty like natural eye looks. So I definitely want to bring these out. Use Diamond Dust, the silver one, this one with some like more dramatic cool tone looks. These are just all so pretty, especially when I talked about them in my recent YouTube Made Me Buy It. Like, I'm just like, why don't I wear these every single day of my life? They're so gorgeous. So I'm gonna bring those out. And then one more eyeshadow product is this eyeshadow from NYX. It's in the shade Girl Talk. It's their prismatic eyeshadow. This was the only thing I would wear on my eyes maybe 2 years ago. It's like this icy cool tone pinkish shade. Like, I was so obsessed with this shade for so long. That would actually be a really pretty highlighter, so maybe I'll wear it as a highlighter too. And I just pulled it out the other day because I was looking for drugstore products to use for my back to school makeup tutorial. I didn't end up using it, but like, I became curious about this shade again, so I want to pull that out. And I also have this one in the shade Liquid Gold. It's very similar to that City Colors color that I was talking about from my August favorites. So that is really pretty. That's like a gorgeous fall shade, and I just haven't worn these in so long. They used to be like my favorite eyeshadow formulas. But then everything else in here, I'm pretty good about using all my brow products, all my mascaras, and a lot of my eyeliners. Like, it's a lot of random things, but I rotate through a lot of these on a weekly basis. Moving into eyeshadows, I know exactly what I want to pick out. I just got this palette last week. I've only played with it 2 or 3 times. It's so gorgeous. It's the Colored Rain Queen of Hearts palette. You can see this is a gorgeous fall palette. I really want to do a tutorial or video, like a get ready with me or something, using this palette. The formula is amazing. It's super pigmented. Highly recommend it, and you guys will see it like in action over the next couple days in Instagram tutorials and tutorials on here too. So I recommend it so far, but I'll show you guys more on my channel, like how to use it. But that's definitely one I want to pull out. And then I got this at BeautyCon the other day. They had it for like 20 bucks, and I was able to finally purchase it because I've been wanting this pure palette forever. It's the Trolls palette. I haven't even used it yet. Let me show you guys the palette. So I've had this for a couple weeks, but I have not even been able to touch it because there's been so many new releases and products to test out that I prioritize throughout the month. So I'm excited to finally play with this. I feel like it's a very Thanksgiving-like palette. So I'm really excited to play with this, and also the Colored Rains palette. And then these are the only 2 eyeshadow palettes that I'm going to pick out because I have the Lorac 2 that I need to still use this month. And also I just ordered the Too Faced Sweet Peach Matte palette. And I should get that and review it for you guys next week, and I'm going to be using that a lot this month. So I think 4 eyeshadow palettes is plenty to be testing out and using on my channel and making a lot of looks with throughout the month. So getting into some face palettes, there's so many different palettes in here, and a lot of them I use a lot, so I want to use some palettes that I don't use as often. I've been eyeing this anytime I've opened this drawer, and it's just kind of gets like crushed under everything else. The Tarte Rainforest of the Sea face palette. I used to use this every single day. Maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, this highlighter was the favorite highlighter of mine for a solid year. Park Avenue Princess and this blush, I love them so much. So I'm gonna see if I still really like these because they're really natural, and I like things that are a little bit more dramatic now compared to this. But I feel like I'm still gonna like this palette. I wanna see if I can maybe hit pan on the blush or the bronzer in here. By the way, this is the Rainforest After Dark palette. I think I called it the Rainforest of the Sea. There's a lot of Rainforest products from Tarte, so that's a favorite of mine. The Sweets palette from Anastasia, I haven't used in a few months. This was my favorite highlighter palette for a long time, and I think I only picked out 1 highlighter from my highlighter drawer, so I'm gonna start using this a lot again because especially Butterscotch, like I love shades like this. This is very similar to the like bronzy gold shades that I was talking about, so I'm excited to use this again, and then maybe like 1 contour kit. So I'm pulling out the Pure Contour Diaries because I was really enjoying this the weeks that I first got it, But then once I got some of the Kevyn Aucoin new palettes and like the Bare Minerals palette, I ended up testing that out a lot more. I really like this shade, so I don't want to forget about this palette, and I really want to start using it again. And I think that's going to be it, because a lot of these, like all of these, are my favorites that I use every week, and a lot of these are like e.l.f. palettes that just take up a lot of room. So that's going to be everything for all my face palette. Alright, and then for some lip products, I just pulled out some of the shades from the Desi and Katy collection. Sauvage, Hot Fire, and No Shade, my favorite lipstick, and then the 2 liquid lipsticks. I'll leave the review of the whole collection in my description box. I want to use this Makeup Geek Jet Setter. I've used it a couple times. It's a really pretty like brownish nude. It's like a good fall shade. And then I'm also going to add in this lip gloss from Anastasia. It's a nude color in the shade Undress. I feel like it would pair nicely like on top of the Makeup Geek lipstick. So I'm going to use these because I like brownish, like warmish nudes for fall. And then I have those bolder shades from Desi and Katy, and then I still have those Pop Beauty shades. Ooh, let me use one of these lip toppers from Jouer, if not both of these. These are Jouer Rose Gold and Tan Lines. I feel like I never wear either of these. I wear Skinny Dip all the time. And the lightest shade, I think Frostbite, a lot too. So let me play with these because they're a little bit darker for fall, and I'll be wearing like some of those darker nude shades. So I'm gonna play with these because I really love like the lip topper look. And I think that's gonna be everything for lips. Alright, so this is gonna be everything in my everyday makeup drawer for September. A lot of products I've forgotten about in my collection, and a lot of old favorites, or just favorites that I have put aside, like the Stila glitters, the Kiko Cosmetics blush, just a bunch of different palettes that I know that I love, but I completely have just been buried in my collection. So that is everything for this drawer. Definitely let me know what you guys are going to be using up in September in the comments below. Let me know if you have any questions about any of the products I mentioned. And yeah, that's everything for this video. Alright guys, so that's everything for my everyday makeup drawer for September. Definitely let me know what products you're going to be testing out this month in the comments below. And also make sure you're checking out my description bar. I'll have a lot of the products that I mentioned, as well as any open giveaways on my channel right now. And yeah, that is everything for today's video. If you guys liked it, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll talk to you guys soon in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Thank you.